because he's become a wonderful, wonderful neighbor, doing kind deeds, seeing the good in all, and his wife makes wonderful cookies. One of the greatest people, contemporary writers and lecturers today, Louise Hay, many of you are familiar with her. She is a real disciple of loving yourself. Great for mirror work, great, and urges each and every one of us to come true to ourselves on a daily basis. So when we're kind to our neighbors, and we're kind to ourselves, and love ourselves, we are at that center of our truth. And it works for me, and I know it works for you. For balance in life, and to carry full measure to the joy that we are in life, your self-respect and your self-love is mandatory. So many times we slough off a compliment. So many times we say, oh, that really doesn't matter. But you know what? It does matter. It does matter that you're recognized and honored. And I'm so pleased for you, Jeannie, for that wonderful, wonderful honor that you've received. We all make a difference. Wherever we journey, whatever thing that we are doing, we do make a difference. And our joy and our love and the God within is well pleased. Well, we know that when we have self-respect for the individual, our individual self, that for a healthy personality and the goodness that we really truly are, that self-respect is reflective in everything that we do. It holds a reverence, an inner reverence, our own personal communion. For that reverence is the coming true to the God within, the truth that you are, the spirit within, that deep, wonderful spirit, that good feeling. And remember, everybody loves a somebody, and you are somebody. Living in the present is mandatory and required for happiness. I know that some of us are butterflies and birds, and some of us jump around like we've been wound too tight. Some of us behave like we've had an overdose of caffeine or other spiritual nourishment. But I'm knowing that each one of us, whatever way we choose to express and experience life, we are at our true center. And when we come true to ourselves and allow this to play out the way we live our life, and when we play out and dismiss all that stuff that serves no purpose, it's like cleaning out the closet of all those clothes that don't fit anymore. Get rid of that stuff. It doesn't do any good to haul it around. It doesn't do any good to keep it on the hanger if you can never get in it. Someone else will enjoy it. And you can bless it on its journey and know that the 34s or the 36s or the size 6s or the size 8s feel so much better. You know, it's okay. It's okay. You choose the newness. It comes to you in quantities and beautiful ways because you're in concert with Spirit. That beautiful essence, that deep-seated, wonderful space that is ours to share. You're somebody, and we know that and honor you for it. When one releases anything along the negativity line, or the envy line, or the jealousy line, when we get rid of those rocks in our sandals, we're going to walk a lot better. We're going to be at peace with our inner soul, at peace with our inner knowing. And when we are at peace, we're living in harmony. And when we have harmony, there is that Libran balance that we're in. There's that goodness, that joy that is ours. And we know that when we become grateful and glad, that when we're one with that true spirit, when we're one with the joy of life, and when we acknowledge that we are somebody rather than a nobody, that we are living in that life that we have chosen. and that we're glad that we're living in that life. Because we attract and know that every attribute of God, every single attribute of God, is ours to express from and with. So I'm knowing for each and every one of us that beauty and peace and love and truth and power are yours to express this next week. Might want to start today at fellowship, no time like the present. I was reading an article recently, and it said that religious science and the science of mind is a preventative philosophy. And I got thinking about that. I thought, that's kind of an unusual way to describe it. I wouldn't always call it a religion as much as I would say a way of life, a philosophy, a way shower, a goodness that empowers the individual, that we can recognize the good and accept that good which is ours. Well, I read on, and what I know for true for me is that religious science and the science of mind is a comfortable and supportive way of life. That we're taught by the very basis of our 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment, how to solution most any challenge or opportunity that comes to us. And what I know for true is that when these challenges disappear and fears turn into faith, we're walking a pretty good life. We're feeling good. We are somebody having a real fine time. And it's nice to know that when that turmoil comes into a serenity, a calmness, that there is that valuable lesson that we now accept. That life is ours. And it's wonderful to demonstrate great things and to demonstrate the joy in life, good health and prosperity and money, cash. I call it a new way of being green. It's okay to have money. It's okay to have wealth. It's okay to live an abundant life. Spirit's well pleased when we do. When we accept harmony and joy, we know that there's that inner spirit that's being nurtured, that's being fed. And I'm knowing for each and every one of us that it becomes the way shower, the healer, the revealer, and the divine truth that is ours. When we have balance in our health, in our relationships with each other, yourself, myself, we know that nature is filled with that good. It is filled with very good. It is filled with all that we need at any given moment. To live harmoniously and to be in harmony emotionally, financially, and physically, that's what's called being alive. And that's what I see today. All of you in the 3-hour chairs for another hour and 40 minutes. Just kidding. You're correct. Emotional balance enhances our receptivity to healing. When we're in harmony, we're in that balanced state. Our consciousness is filled. And we make the decisions, we make the choices that serve our highest and greatest good. Our receptivity to healing revitalizes our energy. We cannot be tired when we are in balance. Spirit knows that because the God is within. And that God within knows everything. Kind of spooky, isn't it? And you got to come true to that. But what I know is that Spirit works through us as we truly, truly believe. It is our consciousness, our mental awareness that equips us to live the joy of Spirit. Dr. Holmes, and I'll extract one more from the textbook. He says, consciousness by its very nature accepts and creates. And that's what we do, my friends. We accept, we create, and we allow the good that these universal tools in the science of mind gives us. We accept Spirit's gifts. We accept knowing that Spirit is in, joy is in, and then we scream it out and celebrate with it. We express it. Was it Dolly Levy said that, it's no good unless it's like horse manure, it's no good unless it's spread around? And that's the way joy is. You got to spread it around. You got to live from your authentic self and allow it to work through you. Allow it to work through you. The individual receives great pleasure in being in a happy state of consciousness. And they delight in living. Each one of us delight in living and thinking the religious science way when we turn off the outside appearances. And I must say, I've gone 4 days without turning the television on, and it's just so wonderful. I don't need that garbage. I've decided I just need to live life, not in the fast lane, but in the spiritual lane. And know that I don't need to allow those feelings of all that clutter to color my thought and act toward it in a negative way. I can act toward life and places and people and things in the harmony and the joy because I have now chosen to come from the Spirit within, the God within. The combination of thought and feeling creates the experience. So if we don't like what we're having and we don't like what we're seeing in the experience, we have, through spiritual mind treatment and redirecting thought, the ability to change that. Allow spontaneity and goodness to come into life. Live and laugh and have a real fine time. And I was reading something else I think I've shared with you many times. I have this great big basket that I take to bed. I'm always going to read at night, pop out the lens, put on my glasses, and I go to sleep, so I don't get it all read. But one thing it said, this one thing was about living in the present and living a long time and enough time to allow your children the pleasure of seeing you being immature. So I like that one, and since I don't have kids, I can do it now. So I'm living life. As I conclude this month of May, not conclude the month of May, but as I conclude my lesson today, I want to encourage you that the month of May is a perfect time for you to live in joy, to live your authentic self, and to contemplate the joy you wish to be, and come true to your wishes. Come true to that inner knowing. Come true to that which is yours to celebrate, to honor, to live, to express, and be in communion with. As you contemplate the joy that you wish to be, and you come true to that wish, you're living your authentic self, your balanced self, in the harmony of life. Well, beautiful beings, you are the joy of Spirit. As I look out today, I see every one of you special in my own heart. There's something special about each and every one of you that I hold in reservation and hold in my heart, that I think of you as I look at you. And know that each one of you bring a gift to the world. Your specialness, your specialness. You make a difference. You are the one. You are somebody. Honoring everybody and anybody, leaving nobody without love. Come celebrate the joy of Spirit. Celebrate today. My lesson ends, and I love you.